This episode is part of the pool's Local Officials Stronger Together podcast series. It's one way we serve local officials through integrity, public service, fiscal responsibility, and operational excellence. As always, please direct specific questions about coverage to your member services manager.
Welcome to episode 19 of the TML Risk Pool's Stronger Together podcast series. I'm your host, Scott Houston. I'm out this time, but I'm thrilled to have a special guest host. Tamara Chafin is the Risk Pool's communication officer. She and I work together every day, and she's been with the pool for 27 years. Tamara, take it away.
Thanks, Scott. In this episode, I'm going to talk about something very near and dear to my heart. The role that a member services manager, or as we refer to as an MSM, plays at the pool. This topic's important to me because for the first 20 years of my career at the pool, that was my job. So today I want to talk about what an MSM is and the services they provide to our members. And since I've been out of the mix for several years now, I'm going to interview two of our current MSMs. While much of the job is the same, it has certainly evolved over the years. Marc Rodriguez has been with the pool for just a few years and came from a claims background, while Linda Morvant has been with the pool over 15 years and prior to that was a city secretary. So both of them bring a wealth of information. Both also clearly love their jobs and are passionate about their mission and provide the best possible service to our members. My hope is that once you listen to the podcast, you might learn of some of the services available that you may not have been aware of and that you'll reach out to your MSM. So let's jump right in. Here's a couple of things I want you to know. The Member Services Department, led by Aaron Hardman, has 10 MSMs, plus a risk services manager that's dedicated to all things cyber. Every member is assigned an MSM, and you can easily find this information on our website where there's an interactive map. So first off, Marc and Linda, how long have you been with the pool and what territory do you currently serve? Marc, why don't you start us off?
Hi, Tamara. This coming October is my 3-year anniversary. And I serve West Texas. My territory starts in Sweetwater, goes all the way out to El Paso, down to Eagle Pass, and I have a few members in Hill Country.
And Linda?
Yeah, Tamara, I've been with the Risk Pool for 16 years, and I currently serve the Panhandle region, which consists of 59 counties and 285 members. And prior to the Panhandle region, I worked in Southeast Texas area.
For those that don't know what a member services manager is, tell us exactly what an MSM is and what does the MSM do at the pool and what do they do for our members?
We are the face of the company. We are going to meet with our members. We'll also be liaison between the member and the claims department, underwriting department, workers' comp department, any of the departments with the risk pool. We meet with the fund contact to discuss the coverages. Every fiscal year, you're going to receive a binder from us. And we sit down with you and we're going to discuss all the coverages that you have with us. And then if there's any gaps in coverage, any coverages that you may need to have with us.
And Linda, how would you describe the role of an MSM?
The role of a member services manager is to serve as the primary liaison for the members and potential members. So we will perform annual reviews with the membership. We will discuss risk management recommendations. We provide analysis of coverage and any gaps in coverages that we see or that we find during the reviews. We do review the risk exposures and make those recommendations. We will recommend appropriate coverage to members and potential members. We help with any type of issue related to claims or any service issue that we're having. I always tell my members, whenever you have a question and you don't know who to ask, come to me. I may not have the answer, but I will get to the person who does. So I want the membership to realize is visit with their MSMs that we are a resource for them. We are their first resource, not their last resort, and that we are here to help them. But we work with them on internal forms. We troubleshoot any kind of issue, and we will communicate membership needs to management and just provide information on the value also of using the online member portal and website, which we're really proud of. We've worked really hard on that, and we encourage the membership to use that online portal.
So what does a typical visit look like? Is there such a thing? Linda, why don't you start us off with this one?
There are some aspects of the coverage that we cover at every visit, but then each member is different and has unique needs. So we may go in a different direction in some instances. We do coverage reviews for all the schedules. We will review limits and deductibles. We will look at all the options that they take or they don't take, such as flood and earthquake. Some members take that, some don't. So we look at the different options there. If they have new exposures, we may need to ride out to the new swimming pool, take some pictures. If there's any issues, we can go look at those. So it just depends on the needs of the member. But as a rule, we do cover all the coverages as a review.
And Mark?
A typical visit. So if it is a new fund contact, I'm going to sit with them. We're going to break out the binder. We're going to start at the beginning. We're going to go over your coverages. We're going to discuss what coverage you have with us, what limits that you have, and what's your deductible. We can also do a deductible analysis to help determine that if that deductible is the right need of the member. With a new fund contact, I don't want to go into great depth because I don't want to overload the new fund contact with information to where they're not retaining anything that I am sharing with them. If it's a fund contact that's been with the risk pool longer than I've been with the risk pool, I may ask if they want me to refresh their coverages with them. For those particular fund contacts, I'd share with them maybe there's some changes to the policy documents that they need to be aware of that could affect them.
Mark, what does a coverage review entail?
Yes. So for, let's say we're going to review the property schedule. Okay. So we're going to start with the property. We want to make sure everything that you have scheduled with us, we want to make sure that it is adequately valued. So we're going to ask the member to review their schedule. That's something that they can request from the member services manager. Maybe they want it in an Excel spreadsheet. So I will download their schedules onto an Excel spreadsheet and then email it to them. The fund contact can also obtain these schedules in an Excel spreadsheet form through the member portal. So what we'll do is we'll sit down, we'll go through the schedule, and you want to make sure that building value is adequate, the contents value is adequate. You want to make sure if you're missing any buildings, you want to add them to the schedule. If there's any buildings that you want to remove, then you want to remove them from the schedule. We're going to review your deductible, your all peril deductible, and then also maybe you have a wind and hail deductible. We will review as well.
And why don't you all tell us a little bit more about the portal? What can a member do via the portal, and how does that work in conjunction with the MSM? It obviously doesn't replace an MSM, but talk about the options of the member's binder versus the portal. Mark, why don't you go ahead and start us off on this one?
Yes, I will review the binder with the member, and then I will show them where they can find this on the member portal.
And Linda, do you have anything to add?
It's similar to the binder, but it's much more, and it gives the member capability of access information immediately instead of having to replace it and request it from an underwriter or from the MSM. The schedules that are on the portal are updated every night. So that information on that portal is up to date, whereas when you get your binder, that paper copy that you printed out is as good as the day it was printed. So if you make a change request and you're not sure if it has been endorsed, you can go to the online portal and look at the schedule and confirm that an auto has been added or a property has been added. Those schedules are up to date on the member portal, and that's very important to the member because they want to make sure that they do have coverage for that auto or for that property.
And can you assist a fund contact with registering for the portal?
Absolutely. That's one of the first things I will tell a new fund contact is you need to register on the member portal. That is a very good lifeline for them. Their information is there at their fingertips.
Let's say a member has pretty bad losses over the last few years, or they're even experiencing some budget constraints. How can an MSM help with that? For example, do you do deductible reviews? What all can you do for them? Linda, you want to take this one?
As far as cutting costs, the first thing we're going to look at are deductibles and limits. Every time that underwriting issues a re-rate, they issue grids that show different deductibles and different limits. So if a city council ever wants to look at the cost savings or the cost difference of the different levels of coverage, It's right there in their binder. They don't have to request it. It's given to them every year. And we will also look at their claims experience, because their claims experience will impact their contributions. It is one of the factors that is considered when underwriting is rating them for the new year. So if there's any loss prevention resources that we can start utilizing to reduce the claims, we will do that. So we definitely want to look at bring in loss prevention resources to look at that to keep their claims experience down.
What if a member is having some issues resolving a claim or needs help with expediting it? Mark, you come with a claims background. What would you say?
If a member is having issues with the claims, they haven't heard from the adjuster, then I tell my members to contact me, because then I can find out what the claim number is, who the adjuster that is assigned to the claim, and then reach out to that adjuster directly. And I will ask the adjuster to reach out to the member. I will also follow up with an email to the member and the adjuster just saying, please contact the member so that we can get this claim resolved.
And Linda, what would you say on this one?
So as an MSM, being the liaison for the pool and working with all the different departments to make sure that the members' needs are being met, I can serve as an advocate for the member who is having an issue with claims. If a member reaches out to me with a claim issue, many times it's a communication breakdown, a misunderstanding. Information may not have been conveyed that should have been conveyed. And so I can advocate for the member with the claims adjuster, and we will definitely work together on resolving any issues that they have with their claim.
We always like to pride ourselves on this. We are not an insurance company. How does the pool differ from an insurance company in terms of what an MSM brings to our members? You're not an agent, we know that, but what are your thoughts on that, Linda?
The main difference is that the risk pool is not for-profit organization, which means we're a service-driven organization, unlike insurance companies that are profit-driven. When a member joins the risk pool, it enters into a partnership. So as an MSM, I have the privilege of serving members, which may mean educating them about coverages and loss prevention resources, offering risk management recommendations, or just simply being the fun contact's go-to person when they have questions and they don't know who to ask.
Linda, you've been with the pool for many years, which means you've been through several catastrophic events, such as hurricanes. So what role does an MSM play during a catastrophic event?
The MSM is going to ensure that that member is getting all the services that they need at that point in time following that catastrophe. We have boots on the ground programs, but it's easy for things to fall through the cracks. Everything is chaotic after the catastrophe. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of people in different areas. And so my role as an MSM would be to make sure that all those services come together to benefit the member and make sure that they're getting everything that they need from us.
Let's wrap up our interview with one final question. Mark, what advice would you give to our members?
We are here for our members, so don't hesitate to reach out to us. I'm almost 3 years into being a member services manager. I'm still learning, so I tell all my members, ask all the questions, because it helps me learn my role as a member services manager so that I can better serve my members.
And Linda, do you have any final words to tell our membership?
The biggest piece of advice that I would give to the membership is to utilize your membership with the risk pool to the fullest extent. Let your MSM be a resource for you. Visit with your MSM to learn about the different coverages that we offer and all the resources that the risk pool provides, from risk management analysis to loss prevention. Just think of us as an extension of your office, because we are here to serve you.
Let's go over our action items for today's episode. First of all, find out who your MSM is. You can either hop on our website. We have an interactive map that will show you who your MSM is, or you can even contact me. I'm happy to assist. Secondly, if you haven't already registered on our portal, do so ASAP. The portal provides so much information at your fingertips, especially if you're the fun contact. Your MSM is happy to walk you through the portal and show you all the things you can do, which include adding or deleting things from your schedules, looking up your claims, finding out who your adjuster is. There's just so much there at your fingertips. And finally, if you haven't met or seen your MSM this past year, reach out to them. I know the pandemic slowed things down a bit in terms of personal visits, but they are happy to meet with you, whether it's over the phone, virtually, or of course in person. And that's one of the many things that sets us apart from an insurance company. Thanks to both Mark and Linda for joining me, and thanks to everybody for listening. See you next time.
To review written materials associated with the presentation or to ask Scott a question, please visit www.tmlirp.org and click on the Stronger Together podcast link. Please remember that the information in this episode is provided for informational purposes only and doesn't constitute legal advice. We recommend that you review the podcast and the accompanying written materials with your attorney prior to taking action.